Okay, students, let us discuss some more questions related to the first lesson in first year, that is the living world. So already in the earlier part we have discussed some important questions, and some more expected questions in the living world are the question number 1. One of the following scientists who worked on the central question of evolutionary biology was options 1. Ernst Mayr, 2. Carolus van Linnaeus, 3. Bentham, 4. Darwin. So in this the Darwin is a scientist who is related to evolution process. Bentham is a person who is related to the taxonomy, the classification of the plants. Carolus Linnaeus is the father of taxonomy. He is also related with the development of plant sciences. But Ernst Mayr is a scientist who is concerned with the central question of evolutionary biology. So question number 1, the correct answer is 1. Question number 2, assertion. In plants, growth by means of cell division occurs continuously throughout their lifespan. Reason, plants are provided with various types of meristematic tissues. Options 1. A and R are correct and R is the correct explanation of A. 2. A and R are correct and R is not the correct explanation of A. 3. A is correct but R is false. 4. A is false but R is correct. So here as we know that plants are the special plants have a special character related to the growth, that is they show growth throughout their life cycle, starting from germination of the seed to till the death of the plants. Why it is so? That is, they are showing the continuous growth throughout their lifespan. What is the reason means, as we know that the embryonic tissue which are present in the embryo, when the embryo is converted into a small plantlet, all those meristematic tissues of the embryo will enter into the tips of the plants like root tip and the stem tip, and when they occupy the tips, they start dividing repeatedly till the death of the plant body. So that is why the meristematic cells which are present in the plant is the reason why the plants are showing growth throughout the lifespan. So for question number 2, the correct answer is 1. Question number 3, assertion. Growth cannot be taken as a defining property of living organisms. Reason, a dead organism does not grow. Options, both A and R are correct. R is the correct explanation of A. 2. Both A and R are correct and R is not the correct explanation of A. 3. A is correct but R is false. 4. A is false but R is correct. So here it is a question related to growth. Growth is present in living organisms, and it is an internal change that is taking place because of the metabolic changes, chemical reactions which are taking place inside the plant body and inside the animal body. The plant and animal are showing, that is living organisms are showing growth and development. But it is not a defining property. Why it is not a defining property means, here there are some organisms which they become dead, and when they become dead they does not grow. So that is the reason why. So we cannot say that the growth is a defining property of a living organism. So according to these statements, we can say that both A and R are correct and R is the correct explanation of A. So question number 3, the correct answer is 1. Question number 4, in this type of organisms, growth is not clearly demarcated. 1. Multicellular, 2. Unicellular, 3. Colonial, and 4. All. So here growth is not clearly demarcated means, here if a plant is a multicellular organism, so the cells will divide and new cells are added to the plant body or to the animal body, that is to the organism. So when the new cells are added, we can say that the plants are exhibiting growth. The physical increase can be observed in the multicellular conditions. But when it is coming to the unicellular organisms, when a cell is divided, when a parent cell is divided, it gives rise to 2 daughter cells. That 2 daughter cells which are unicellular in the nature, they are acting as individual organisms. So there we cannot exactly see what is the growth which is observed in that type of organisms. That is the reason why we can say that growth is not clearly demarcated in the unicellular organisms. Now when it is coming to colonial forms, colonial forms means a group of unicellular organisms which are present in a colony like organization is called as colonial form. So when the new cells are added, the size of that organization is increasing. That is the clear demarcation of growth can be seen. So that from the given options we can say unicellular organisms does not show clear demarcation of growth. So question number 4, the correct answer is 2. Question number 5, budding is a type of asexual reproduction possible in this type of organisms. Options 1, multicellular, 2, colonial, 3, unicellular and 4, all. So here it is related to a sexual process called as a budding. Budding is a process which is observed in some unicellular organisms like yeast, and it is also observed in a animal called as hydra. If you see the yeast is a unicellular organism in which the nucleus is haploid in its condition, and when the budding is taking place, the nucleus will divide to form 2 daughter nuclei, and at the same time a small bud like structure is arising on one of the sides of this plant, of this unicellular organism, and the 2 daughter nuclei, out of the 2 daughter nuclei, one of the daughter nuclei will enter into the bud, and after some time this bud which is there gets separated from the parent plant and it develops into individual organism. So that this method of asexual reproduction is called as budding process. This is seen in the unicellular organisms like in yeast. So question number 5, the correct answer is 3. Question number 6, one of the following is not the defining character of organisms. 1, metabolism, 2, reproduction, 3, consciousness and 4, all. Okay, let us start with the first one, metabolism. What is metabolism means? Metabolism is the changes which are taking place inside the cell, that is with changes of many chemical compounds, that is the chemical reactions. Metabolic processes are the conversion of one type of organic compound into other type of organic compound. So this is a change which is taking place inside that organism is called as a metabolism. So this metabolism is taking place only in the living organisms but not in the non-living organisms. Then coming to second one, reproduction. Reproduction means giving rise to the young ones is called as reproduction. So here reproduction is shown by living organisms, that as we know, but there are some living organisms which are sterile in their nature. That means they can't reproduce and they can't give rise to the young ones, like sterile human are present. They can't reproduce, and the sterile are also being seen in the honeybees. Sterile honeybees are there, and that is the worker bees are the sterile ones. Then the same way, the mule is the one which is formed by crossing an horse and a donkey. This mule is also sterile in its nature. All these are the examples of living organisms, but they are not able to reproduce. That's the reason why we can't say that reproduction is a defining property. And third one is a consciousness. Consciousness means knowing about the surroundings or responding to the surroundings or the stimulus. So this is also considered to be the defining property of the living organisms, because non-living organisms can't respond to the stimulus, and they are not aware of the surroundings, and they are not aware of themselves also. So awareness of themselves or awareness of the surrounding is called as a consciousness, or stimulus responding to a stimulus is also called as consciousness. So we can say consciousness is a defining property of living organisms. So out of and the last one is given as all. So all are not correct, because we said that metabolism and consciousness are the two which are defining properties of living organisms but not reproduction. So we can say that question number 6, the correct answer is 2. Question number 7, correct statement regarding a biochemical reaction is: 1, they do not occur outside the organism; 2, they do occur in vitro conditions; 3, they do occur in vivo conditions; and fourth one is 2 and 3. Okay, when we come to the solution for 7th answer, so here they do not occur outside the organism is an incorrect statement, whereas they do occur in vitro condition and they occur in the in vivo condition. In vitro means the artificial, that is the laboratory, and in vivo means inside the cells. So that options 2 and 3 are correct. So from the given statements we can say that question number 7, the correct answer is 4. Question number 8, the environmental stimuli to which organisms could respond are options 1 physical, 2 chemical, 3 biological, 4 all. Okay, here responding to the stimulus is one of the most important character which is exhibited by the living organisms. So here the environmental stimulus to which organisms could respond are, environmental stimulus may be of 3 types. One is a physical stimulus, chemical stimulus and also the biological stimulus. So that an organism can respond to all the 3 types of stimuli. So that the correct answer for 8th question is 4. Question number 9, the response of the organisms to the stimuli is manifested in the form of options 1 irritability, 2 growth, 3 reproduction and 4 all. Okay, here irritability means responding to the stimulus is called as irritability. That is a response of an organism when the stimulus is received by that organism is called as irritability. Like let's take one example here. If we touch the plant or touch me not plant, so what happens, the leaves of the plant will close. That is the plant is showing response to the stimulus, that is a touch by any living organism. So that is called as irritability. Then when it is coming to growth and reproduction, that is not the stimulus, that is a normal process which is taking place in the living organisms. So that growth and reproduction are not the stimulus or the response or manifestation of the stimulus. So irritability is a manifestation of the stimulus. So question number 9, the correct answer is 1. Question number 10, one of the following is a physical stimulant that affects reproduction in plants is options 1 shelf life, 2 photoperiod, 3 malic acid, 4 root pressure. So here from the given options, so here the physical stimulant that will affect the reproduction in plants. Actually here the reproduction process means the flowering is also the part of reproduction. Flower production is also the part of reproduction, because when the flowers are formed, then only the plants can participate in the reproduction process. The flowering process is will depends upon the duration of day length and the duration of night length. That is what we call it as a photoperiod. That is duration of day length. That means the stimulation, the plants will receive the stimulus, that is in the form of light, which will show the effect in flowering process. So that the physical stimulant that will affect the reproduction process in plants is photoperiod. So question number 10, the correct answer is 2. Question number 11, self-consciousness is the characteristic feature of options 1 plants, 2 organisms, 3 human beings, 4 prokaryotes. Okay, here whatever the options that have been given in 4, that is plants, organisms, human beings and prokaryotes, all the 4 are living organisms, but the self-consciousness, that is awareness of themselves. So how to dress or how to behave and all the things is a part of the self-consciousness that is there in only in the human beings. So plants does not have such consciousness, and all organisms when it is considered is not the correct one, and prokaryotes we know that primitive organisms that does not have the self-consciousness. So question number 11, the correct answer is 3. Question number 12, this organism is in living state and temporarily or permanently lost the self-consciousness. 1 green plants, 2 human patient, 3 bacteria multiplying on the culture medium, and fourth one is all. Out of that, so here self consciousness we are talking about. Here self consciousness is there only for human beings. Okay, so first option that is given, green plants, the green plants nowhere contain the self consciousness, so leave that one. And third one, bacteria multiplying the culture medium. As we know that prokaryotes like bacteria also does not have the self consciousness. And when it is coming to the human patient, we know that a normal healthy human being contains self consciousness. But if a person is in coma, so he is considered the human patient, he does not have the self consciousness. He can, all the body parts will be functioning, but he does not have the awareness about himself and also the surroundings. That is what we call it as a person is in coma. That is the condition where he does not have the self consciousness. So question number 12, the correct answer is 2. Question number 13, characteristic of an organism depends on options: 1 type of organelles, 2 types of cells, 3 interactions, and 4 hormones. Okay, here it is related to the characters of an organism. Here an organism is characterized by the interactions which are taking place inside the cells. That is the conversion of one type of the component into other type, and interaction between those components is the character, is the one which is helping in the characteristic features of a particular organisms. So question number 13, the correct answer is 3. Question number 14, molecular interactions are also present in options: 1 starch, 2 DNA, 3 protein, and 4 all. Okay, here molecular interactions, it is related with the molecules, the giant molecules which are present inside the living cell. So interactions means the interactions between different types of molecules which are present inside a cell. So that is exhibited by all types of molecules which are present in a cell. So that have been given here, that starch, proteins, and also DNA will have that molecular interactions. So question number 14, correct option is 4. Question number 15, by this molecular component, all organisms are either directly or indirectly linked with each other. Options: 1 proteins, 2 genetic material, 3 polysaccharides, and 4 enzymes. Okay, here the question is related to the linking of one organism to other organisms. So let us take the parents and the daughter generations. So here we know that the characters are inherited from parent generation to the daughter generations. That is what we call it as a inheritance, or we can call this as a heredity. We know that heredity is nothing but the transfer of genes from parent generation to the offspring generation, and here the genes are transferred. Genes are transferred means where does the genes are present, means they are present on the DNA molecule or the genetic material present in that living organism. So that we can consider that genetic material is the one, either RNA or DNA, based on the type of organism, which are helping in direct or indirect linking between the various types of living organisms. So question number 15, the correct answer is 2. Question number 16, the purpose of scientific nomenclature is to avoid: 1 common names, 2 confusion, 3 communication, and 4 all. Okay, here scientific nomenclature we are saying, that is if you take the binomial nomenclature system. So naming of any living organism in 2 words is called as binomial nomenclature, and that name is internationally accepted. That means internationally accepted binomial name should be given to each and every living organism. Why there is a need of a binomial or an internationally accepted naming means, because if a plant is there in one area, that plant is known by different names in that different names in different places, or within the same place it is known by different names also. That means different vernacular names are there, different English names are there, different common names are there. So that leads to a lot of confusion. So if a person want a plant that like China rose, if you go and ask in some other areas, those people may not have exact idea about that particular plant, about what he is asking. So in order to avoid all this confusion, there should be a systematic and internationally accepted nomenclature system. So that's the reason why from the given options we can say that confusion is the correct answer. Question number 16, correct answer is 2. Question number 17, with completion of this aspect of taxonomy, a taxonomist would have to start a nomenclature. Options: 1. Classification, 2. Characterization, 3. Identification, and 4. All. Okay, here in the taxonomy part there are 4 things to be considered. One is characterization, that is related to the characters of a organism. The first one is a characterization. Then after characterization, based on the characteristic features, the plant or the organism is identified. That is called as identification. And after identification, so here the scientist or the person, he is had to be given, will give a name to that one, that is called as a nomenclature. And after nomenclature, they have been classified, that is called as a classification. So here the question is related to, with the completion of aspect of taxonomy, a taxonomist would have to start a nomenclature. So after which of them he had to go for nomenclature means in the order. I said that this is the first one, second one, third one, and fourth one. So what he had to do is he had to go for identification before nomenclature. So this is the correct answer for that one. So question number 17, the correct answer is 3. Question number 18, scientific naming of organisms ensures: 1. Confusion, 2. Only one scientific name to an organism, 3. One scientific name to 2 organisms, 4. All. Okay. Here what is the intention of giving a scientific name to the plant? As I had already said that to avoid confusion, and in order to avoid confusion, one plant have to be given internationally accepted scientific name. That means one plant should have one scientific name, or one biological name, or in terms of plants, one botanical name, in terms of animals, one geological name. So that means one plant should have one scientific name which is internationally accepted. So that question number 18, the correct answer is 2. Question number 19, ICBN is concerned with this aspect of plant taxonomy. Options: 1. Identification, 2. Nomenclature, 3. Classification, and 4. All. Okay, here what does this ICBN stands for? International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. That is naming of the plants according to some principles or rules that have been prescribed by internationally accepted botanical scientists. That is, it is related to botanical nomenclature, that is naming of the plants. Naming of any living organism is called as nomenclature. That means it is ICBN is related to nomenclature of the plants. So question number 19, the correct answer is 2. Question number 20, the number of species included in a genus is: options: 1. 1 only, 2. 2 only, 3. 4 only, 4. 1 to many. Okay, here in the hierarchy of classification, we know that species is the least one, right? And all the species are included under one genus. That means one genus may contain at least one species, or sometimes more than one species also. That means the minimum number should be 1. The maximum number is not a restricted one. So that number of species which are present in one genus is ranging from 1 to many. 1 to many. So question number 20, the correct answer is 4. Question number 21. In this class, malvaceae, roseales and polymoniales were included. Options: 1. Dicotyledonnae, 2. Monocotyledonnae, 3. Gymnospermae and 4. Mimosoidae. Okay, here it is related to malvaceae, roseales and polymoniales. All these three are belonging to a class called as Dicotyledonnae. Why? Because they have 2 cotyledons inside the seed, that is one character. The second one is they have reticulate venation in their leaves. That is a second important character of dicotyledons, and presence of tap root system. Then in the flowers, pentamerous condition. Pentamerous condition means each oral of perianth contains at least 5 or multiples of 5. So that is the other condition. So malvaceae, roseales and polymoniales are exhibiting all the characters which I already said. So all of them are belonging to Dicotyledonnae. So question number 21. The correct answer is 1. Question number 22. All taxa in a taxonomic hierarchy are arranged in options: 1. Descending order, 2. Ascending order, 3. Horizontally, 4. 1 or 2. Okay, here what do you mean by taxonomic hierarchy? Taxonomic hierarchy means it is starting with the species. All the species are included under genus, and whatever the number of genus are present, they have been included under family, and all the families are included under order, and all the orders are included under the series related to plants. All the series are included under class, or we can say subclasses or class, and all the classes are kept under the divisions, and divisions are kept under the kingdom. That is we are writing from species to kingdom. That is the basic unit of classification to the largest one. That means from least to the highest one, so it is in the ascending order. It is in ascending order. So question number 22, the correct answer is 2. Question number 23. Collection of these is the prime source of taxonomic studies. Options: 1. Fossils, 2. Specimens of plants and animals, 3. Chemicals produced plants and animals, 4. All. Okay, here the question is related to the prime source of taxonomic studies. So taxonomic study means related to the identification, that is characterization, identification, nomenclature and classification. All these can be studied when at least a specimen of an plant or the animal is present. So that is taxonomic studies can be done when the specimens are collected. What is a specimen? Specimen is actually when it is coming to the specimen means the one which is in a fresh condition or in the dried condition, collected and preserved. So that collected and preserved material is called as a specimen. So question number 23, the correct answer is 2. Question number 24. Herbarium specimens are arranged in according to options: 1. Natural classification, 2. Artificial classification, 3. Phylogenetic classification and 4. Universally accepted classification. So here herbarium is a collection of dried specimens of plants. So here the plants, the twigs are collected, those twigs are pressed and they have been kept in on a herbarium sheet, and to that herbarium sheet all the characters related to the plant species which is collected will be there. So that we call that as a herbarium specimen. And here when you are keeping that herbarium, the classification have to be given on that herbarium, so that the classification should be universally accepted. But here it is options that have been given: artificial, natural and phylogenetic. Of course, the three systems are there, but the classification which is given to that herbarium specimen should be accepted by all the botanical scientists who are present in the universe, and it is according to the rules and principles that have been given by taxonomy scientists. That's why we call it as universally accepted classification. So question number 24, the correct answer is 4. Question number 25, in this type of taxonomical aid, only plant specimens are preserved. Options: 1. Herbarium, 2. Museums, 3. Botanical gardens, and 4. 1 and 3. So when you come to the solution for 25th question, so here the first one is herbarium. Herbarium is related to the drying of plant specimens or plant species and keeping them in the form of a herbarium sheet. So this is related to the herbarium. When it is coming to the museums, so museums are not related to the plants, it is related to the animals. The collection of the animal species is called as a museums. Then botanical gardens. The botanical gardens are the places where the plants are grown. So that herbarium and the botanical gardens are related to the plant specimens which are considered to be the taxonomic aids. What is the taxonomic aids means? Which help in the identification, nomenclature and the classification part. So that is what we call as the taxonomic aids. So question number 25, the correct answer is 4. Question number 26, couplet characteristic are used in this type of taxonomic aid. Options: 1. Herbarium, 2. Museums, 3. Botanical gardens and 4. Keys. Okay, here herbarium is nothing but the collection of dried specimens of plants is herbarium. Museums, already we said that the collection of animal species, and botanical gardens are the plants which are growing in some areas where restricted places are present, that is botanical gardens. Actually couplet, what is a couplet? Before going to that one, we should know something about the key. In the books of flora, that is the books related to the plants, in that each and every plant is described, and the description of each and every plant is given in the form of characteristic features. Each characteristic feature is called as key. Each character is called as one key. And for every key, 2 characters are there. Out of that 2 characters, one is related to that organism, that is plant, and one is the one which is not related to the plants. So here each key contains 2 characters, that is called as a couplet. Out of the couplet, one is related to the plant and one is not related to the plant. So question number 26, the correct answer is 4. Question number 27. These are the taxonomic aids which provided recorded descriptions. Options: 1. Flora, 2. Manuals, and 3. Monographs. The fourth is all. Okay. Taxonomic aids means which are helping or helping in the taxonomy part. So here which contains the recorded descriptions. Flora is nothing but the plants, and that is the books related to the plants. Here it is called as flora. Manuals are also related to the individual plants or the plant species. Monographs are also related to the plants. So that all these are the taxonomic aids which are helping in the classification and various aspects of the taxonomy. So question number 27, the correct answer is 4. Question number 28. Taxonomic aids such as herbarium, botanical gardens and museums are majorly concerned with this aspect of taxonomy. Options: 1. Identification, 2. Nomenclature, 3. Classification, and 4. All. Okay, here they had given 3: herbarium, botanical gardens and museums. All these are the taxonomic aids which are helping in the identification of the plant species. So that question number 28, the correct answer is 1. Question number 29. One of the following taxa is always having only one type of taxon in the taxonomic hierarchy. Options: 1. Family, 2. Order, 3. Genus, and 4. Kingdom. Okay, as we know that the hierarchy is there, starting with the species, genus, family, order, series, class, division, and kingdom. Let's take the kingdom. Kingdom is a taxonomy, one taxon which includes many divisions, which that means all these are being kept under the part of the kingdom only. When you are saying the division from class to species, all of them are the part of division only. When we are talking about class, from series, order, family, genus, species, all of them will be the part of class. As like here series also, order, family, genus and species are included. Order, family, genus, species are included. Family, genus and species are included. But when it's coming to genus, it includes only one taxon, that is species. So that question number 29, the correct answer is 3. Question number 30. Assertion: mules, sterile bees are not considered as animate things. Reason: they are sexually impotent. Options: A and R are correct and R is the correct explanation of A. A and R are not correct and R is not correct explanation of A. 3. A is true but R is false. 4. A is false but R is true. Okay, here we know that many living organisms are there which can reproduce, but there are few living organisms which cannot reproduce. So, but we can't say that as they cannot reproduce, they are not living organisms. So, there are some examples. Already we had discussed that a mule is the one which is formed by crossing a horse and a donkey. Then the worker bees, honey bees, which are sterile one are there. That means in honey bees, the fertile one are there, that is the king and the queen, whereas the worker bees are the sterile ones. And some other are there impotent parents are also there. So, these are the living organisms, but these are not having the ability to reproduce. So, that's the reason why we should not call them as inanimate things. Those are the animate things only. So, here they are sexually impotent, that is correct. So, assertion statement is incorrect and reason statement is correct. So, question number 30, answer is 4.